what to know about bad supplementations. And I want to give you some ideas now how to find a good supplement. How does that sound? Wouldn't that be exciting to know, hey, can I actually take this product? Is it really going to help me? Well, there's a few things you want to know if you're going to take a good supplement. Number one, is it made from food? If it's made from petroleum or turpentine rocks, you don't want to take it. Can we start again?
Yes.
Because I haven't used 2 seconds already on 9 minutes.
No, it's counting down.
Oh, counting down. Okay. Well, my time's finished. I haven't started yet. Right? Sorry, Chris. We'll get there. Are we going to count up this time? All right. You see, I can only do 1 and 1. I can't do 1 minus 1. Okay. All right. Okay. Here we go. All right, folks. I'm sure you must have enjoyed that irritating little video clip explaining that the supplement you're taking could actually be harming you and not helping you. Well, I want to give you some ideas and some guidance how to know if the supplement you're taking is actually going to help you. Number one is, if anybody ever offers you a supplement, you want to go to them and say, is this made from food? If it's not made from food, don't take it. Number two, is it made from human food? Because if it's made from, whale food or something that humans have never eaten in their life, even if it is some kind of plant or whatever, I wouldn't touch it. Number three, is it made from whole human food? Now this is really important because I know a lady in California from Biola University who was absolutely what we used to call in South Africa any yucky flu, exhausted, tired, burnt out. She was taking every kind of supplement you could imagine. And I went across there, she was taking supplements from a chiropractor, supplements from a naturopath, and supplements from everybody. And I said, I can't find anything wrong with these supplements, excepting they're not whole. They were human food, but they were isolate human foods. Well, she switched over just onto a handful of products. She went from taking about 40 down to about 4. Guess what happened? Her life changed. She phoned me about 6 weeks later and she says, Louis, I am jogging upstairs. She said, I was so exhausted I could hardly walk. What happened? She went from isolate to whole food. Make sure it is whole food supplements. The next thing is there studies published proving it actually gets into your blood? It's no good taking a product just goes down the toilet. Does it actually get in your blood? And if it gets into the blood, does it harm you or help you? Because it's no good taking a product that gets into your blood that harms you. Make sure it helps you. Well, if you watch enough of these, you're going to see me recommending a product range. And the reason why I recommend this product range is it's juice extracted, dehydrated, organically grown, GMO-free, vine-ripened, whole foods and vegetables. And the most important thing, as far as I know, they're the only pharmaceutically controlled, organically grown, whole food supplement supplier out there. What does that mean? That means 100% of what's on the label in the product. You say, well, isn't that how all labeling works? No, most labeling works like this. Only about 20% of what's in the labels in the product, which I will show you on the following video clip, so make sure your friend sends it to you. Do they have the lipids and sterols in them? Now this is really important. Do they have lipids and sterols in them? Because the lipids and sterols are a nutrient that gets your cell membrane functioning, allowing nutrient to penetrate that cell and allowing waste to leave the cell, and you can take all the supplements on planet Earth. You can eat the best food in the world. If your cell membranes are impermeable and the nutrition can't enter that membrane and the waste can't exit that membrane, you're wasting your time taking that supplement. It has to enter the membrane. And the lipids and sterols, what else do they do? Well, 2 scientists were given the Nobel Prize in chemistry for discovering the importance of the lipids and sterols. And what they discovered is they balance the hormones. Ever heard people with hormonal problems? Mood swings, irritability, depression, heavy monthly cycles, lower back pain during monthly cycles, underactive, overactive metabolisms, slow metabolism. All of these could be hormonal situations. Why? Because we've taken an ingredient out of our food chain called the lipids and sterols. Do they have all known 15 carotenoids in the product? Now, if you take a product with 15 carotenoids, that could add up to about 600 different kind of antioxidant carotenoids, because you're getting the 15 families gives you about 600, and that to me is really exciting. With the second best product ever seen in the world has got 1. There's a big difference between 1 and 600. And the one that you get out there is made from Unicellular, which is pond slime, which nothing eats. Nothing eats. Not even tadpoles, not even critters or bugs eat it. Do they have all all 8 families of E in there? Because if it's only got 1 E, alpha tocopherol or something like that, guess what? The minute you take an isolate product, now all your receptors in your body are saturated by that isolated product, and you can't absorb the other 7 E's out of your diet or out of supplementation. You want to make sure that you take a product that is all food, all 8 E's. Do they have all 8 omegas? If we take the EPA and the DHA, guess what? You're getting 2 of the 8. And how do you know which of the omega-3s you're needing? And omega-3 is vital. It's one of the most incredible products in the world. Studies showed in Japan, moms who took it didn't get postpartum depression. Moms who took it, their children that were born from them when they were pregnant had about a 30% higher IQ. Moms that took it reduced strokes by about 60%. Other studies showed that men who took salmon oil decreased aggressive behavior by up to 70%. It's incredible for anxiety and calming and relaxing. Studies have shown how it's the most incredible product for inflammation. It can reduce inflammation by up to 68%. A salmon oil is incredible for headaches and migraines. Oh, just a great product. But then it needs to have the full balance of oils in there. It's great for your joints. It's great for emphysema. It's great for circulatory issues. It's great for cholesterol. It's just for psoriasis, for skin problems. Just a wonderful product. Do they have chelated whole food iron? Do you know if a company is supplying iron, that they have melted rocks, mined rocks, and take those rocks and then they melt and take the iron out there, they call it smelting, they take that and then they grind it up and now you've got little iron filings, and you take those iron filings and you put them in multivitamins, which is about 99.9% of the iron in the world, I would estimate. That's how they make it. Those little iron filings, if the product does digest in your stomach, can get stuck in your intestinal tract, causing polyps and causing intestinal cancer and causing diverticulitis about 18 years after you took it. So hey, where did this problem come from? What did you take 18 years ago? Make sure that the zinc you're taking is made from food, made from a plant. What should the zinc come from? Well, there's certain plants out there that, not celery but parsley, full of zinc. Where does iron come from? Molasses. Great form of iron. So the company should be taking the food, extracting the nutrients through electrolysis, taking those minerals, chelating it with amino acids. Do they have the full spectrum of the 4,000 bioflavonoids? A product with all 4,000 bioflavonoids can increase your body's ability to fight certain cancers by up to, government studies, by up to 90%. Now, folks, can you imagine if you could slow down your cancer by 90%? If you're going to die in 4 years' time, you're only going to die in about 40 years' time. Right? You're going to die from something else. You're not going to die from the cancer. That to me is really, wouldn't that be exciting? Well, the second best product in the world is made from pine bark. How can you compare pine bark to juice extracted, dehydrated, organically grown, GMO-free, vine-ripened fruits and vegetables? There's a massive difference to that. Does their protein have all 22 amino acids? What's the 22 amino acids? The 22 amino acids make up the protein families. And did you know that protein is called the foundation of health. It's the building blocks of the body. Why is that? Because it's what's used for digestion. You've got 2,000 digestive enzymes that your body has to produce from those 22 amino acids. Then your body has to take those proteins and to make collagen, they have to glue protein onto the vitamin C, and then to assimilate into the cell, you need protein in the cell. So it's protein to digest, protein to turn that into something that your body can use, and then protein to assimilate in the cell. And the problem with protein, do you know what the problem with protein is? It only stays in your body for 1 day, 24 to 30 hours. So every day you have to replenish that protein. Has that protein gone through a process to protect the kidneys? I was doing a talk not too long ago in Los Angeles, and he has this young man, his name is Parker, and he's 18 years old, and he shows me they've just taken out both his kidneys at the age of 18. Guess what? He was a muscle building man, you know, he looked real good. So I said, do you take protein? He said, yes. I said, where's it? He said, in the truck. They went and fetched it from the truck, and I showed him what the problem was. Because what actually happened when they took his kidneys out, they found that the kidneys were blocked solid with protein shake. So they cut them off, they milked out all the protein shake, they sewed his kidneys, they put him back inside. And you know, he most probably wouldn't have kidneys today if he hadn't come to that meeting. Because there's a 7-year waiting list in the USA for new kidneys. If you know anybody taking a protein shake, you want to do whatever you can to shake them and say, make sure that protein shake is not going to hurt you. And I'm not going to teach it right now. I want to keep this a nice short little clip. We're going to be teaching that in the next clip the person will send you. Is there acidophilus target loaded? What does that mean? That means, is it released where your body needs it? If it's released in the stomach, guess what happens? You digest and you destroy the acidophilus, the bacteria kill. If it breaks down in the small intestine, the same thing happens. So if it breaks down in the colon, you say, good, yeah, it's good, but it's not totally good. You want it to be released at the cecum and the large intestine, but only partially. That's why it should say gel-coated. What does that mean? That means when it breaks down, it still forms a little bubble. And as it moves along, little bits of acidophilus are released. As it goes through the whole thing, it's not all released in the same place. Is there garlic target loaded? And does the garlic have all 5 families of the allium that produces the allicin? Because if you take a product that hasn't had the allium in, you can't produce the allicin, and allicin is the healer. And I don't know if you saw this study showing that nearly every garlic that was tested out from the giant suppliers had no allium, couldn't produce any allicin, was an incredible placebo. Are there third-party or pharmaceutically controlled guaranteed ingredient potency into their product? I'll be talking a lot more about that in the next clip, which will be a bit longer than this one. And do they use only organic, GMO-free foods? Very important. And the last thing is, Google your company's name that you're thinking about getting involved in, and Google the company's name and lawsuits. You will soon see what kind of company it is. It was great chatting to you. Thank you for joining me here tonight, but I hope you all learned something.